All right. Okay, my name is Gary Kasulu, and I own a company called Loving Social Media. And I have potentially a brand new apprentice in Ruby.
Hello.
Yeah, that's Ruby. So I'm 46 and I have been in digital marketing for possibly 12 or 13 years, right at the beginning. And I'm very excited to train Ruby. Ruby, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was a A-level student and now I'm looking for apprenticeships and more stuff for my CV, and Gary's going to help me with that.
So you've worked for the company for 3 weeks. Do you want to tell us some of the unusual new skills that you've picked up in that 3 weeks?
Well, I've learned how to use WordPress, um, as there's a new website coming out um, for a motivational speaker company, and I've learned rank. I've learned all different things really to do with.
Video. I think you became like what we did last Thursday is we put together a worldwide a web. What was it? It was
Webinar.
webinar that was live streamed on Facebook, and it got, I think, about 5,000 people watch it. You were very much involved in the project management of that. Do you want to talk us through that project?
Yeah, well, I had to make profiles for all the speakers. So they gave me a picture of them, a bio about them, and then I would put it all in a profile, um, all with the same sort of color, um, and maybe a logo of their website, and then I would send it back to them, and they would post it on their Facebook, Instagram, to tell people about what was going to happen. And then, as well as that, I made a video of all of the profiles together,
And
which is
you
another skill I picked
smashed
up.
it. And you did such a great job. I'd
Thank you.
like to think, right? I don't know what you're going to say now, but I'd like to think you've learned a hell of a lot in 3 weeks. So, what would you say were some of the, if I asked you, I'll let you free flow. What were some of the things that you've learned about marketing and digital strategy? Put you on the
Well,
spot.
I learned how to post YouTube videos, and that it's a long process, but it's worth it in the end. Um,
But wait, just posting a YouTube video, you did more than that. You took the live, you took a live video from Facebook, downloaded it, and then put it onto YouTube.
yeah, and I added a intro and an outro as well,
So that
so
that
it
was
makes
more.
it
If
look more
someone's watching this
professional.
and they're like, anyone can post a YouTube video, you did way more than that. You wrote the description, you optimized it. Yeah, you did way more.
Yeah. Um, it was, I think one of my favorite things is making the intro and the outro for that, because it's the same for all the YouTube videos. It makes it look professional.
You used Wave, Video Wave for
Yeah,
that.
wave video. Yeah.
You've learnt Canva, some of the apps
Yeah.
that we use.
I think Canva and Wave were my favorite parts so far.
I do love Canva and Wave, and I don't know if you've had a chance to play with it, but one of my favorite is Story Swag for
Yeah.
Instagram. I love that app.
Yeah, I actually used it to make a bank holiday weekend post for, I think it was EA accountants. Yeah.
So you've learned quite a lot. The ultimate, really, is all marketing is the same. We need to
Mm.
find new customers for the clients, and keep the clients they already have. And staying front of mind is very important. So you might think, what's what difference will it make to put up a bank holiday weekend message? But it says to the customer, I'm thinking of you.
Yeah.
Um, they're not very engaging. People will just see them, and they call that brand recognition. The best type of advert on social certainly is an engaging post, because Facebook say they want to connect the world. So when Fred over here and Bob over here are not connected, they're not friends, but they still comment on a page on Facebook, that's when it goes nuts. Do you know much about algorithms? Have I talked to you about algorithms?
You haven't, no, but I think I probably picked stuff up from when I did it in secondary school. I don't know.
Okay, well, what you hear a lot from social media experts is that we must respect the platform. So I will run through some of the unique algorithms of each platform, right? So with YouTube, you get extra points for seeing the video to the end. That is not the case for Facebook, Instagram, any of those guys, right? So that's a uniqueness of YouTube. Uniqueness of Instagram is it makes no difference whatsoever how often you post. Whereas on Facebook, it totally does. They look at the algorithm of the consistency of how much you're posting. If you tweet, that tweet will last for about 2 seconds. In comparison to Facebook, they last 4 hours. In comparison to a story that only lasts a day. So each platform has its own unique algorithms, and the algorithm is a computer that is going to give you more visibility on the stream, on the page. So understanding and learning the algorithms is really important. And here's the mad thing: so just as you think you figured out LinkedIn and the right thing to do, to add 2 hashtags, to tag someone in there, to write a description that has 40 words, 50 words, you're like, that doesn't work anymore. And that's the really exciting thing about our job, is that it's constantly moving, and it's not for everyone. And I tell you this now, Ruby, on camera, if you want a job that will be the same from 1 year to the other, this is not for you. A solicitor's job is generally the same. The laws stay practically the same. A plumber that worked 20 years ago fitting a toilet, it will be practically the same today as it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's important that jobs change and evolve.
Some people don't like that though, Ruby. Some people just want to know on Monday morning that they're going to be shuffling that piece of paper over there, and it will be the same in 100 years.
Yeah, it can be hard to get used to different things, but in my opinion, I think it's good that companies and media and everything is changing, because it's all changing for the better, in my opinion.
Well, certainly that is the case for this profession, that it's moving and moving and moving. And all the TikTok didn't really exist a year ago, and now 2 years ago, and that's hot. I remember Instagram before Facebook bought it, how different it was. I remember Twitter when it was a number, rather like your Twitter handle was like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It wasn't even a name. So you look at how things are changing, and you have to always stay ahead, listening. And I really enjoy it. Over the weekend, it was a bank holiday weekend, I must have listened to 3 podcasts. I studied. I did I did some Facebook blueprint exams, and you think, is it worth it? Like, if you study this hard, you could be a pilot or a solicitor, or there is no job in the world that I would study this hard and keep studying, and that's why I think that if you go to a social media company or a digital company and they're really good, they're going to be much more expensive than someone that just puts up a post and leaves it there with no engagement.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So any last words? Because you're about to turn this video into a podcast. All the words we've spoken are going to be transcribed. And I'm sure that we're on about 1,500, 2,000 words by now.
Yeah. I hope that I continue to work with you and we can evolve together.
Sounds like a plan. So
Yeah.
the external links that I would recommend for this this blog are Social Media Examiner. Have a listen to Social Media Examiner. I would say SEM Rush is another place that you'd want to go. External link. WooRank, we've mentioned it in the blog already. I'd say that. So that's 3 external links there. I'd look at cybersecurity from the government. That's 4, and then the 5th one. Let me think. What would I do as a 5th one? Any ideas there, Ruby? I would say a
Government
thought leader.
apprenticeships, maybe?
Yeah, great idea. Apprenticeships. Yeah, that's a great idea. So if you're watching or you're reading this and you are an apprentice, the tips that I would suggest if you're looking for a job is find a boss that you click with. Really important. Your boss will become one extreme. You hardly ever see them and they have nothing much to do with you. That isn't such a good apprenticeship, because all the knowledge that the boss knows, you want to learn as much as you can. So that's a bit extreme. You hardly have anything to do with the boss and you just give them work and then you just get on with it. That's a slow route to learning. And then the other extreme is a boss is in your face, is like trying to stress you out all the time, and like maybe not giving you the freedom to breathe and experiment. You want somewhere close in the middle, maybe a bit to the side, or that side, or that side. Picking a big company is great for your CV, because it's so nice to have Facebook or TikTok or LinkedIn or Apple for that matter. The problem with really big companies is that they don't trust you to experiment. They certainly wouldn't give you a video to make and then like send it out. You'd have quite basic things to do, but it's what you watch. You'd watch meetings happening, you'd hear things, and it's all the knowledge you pick up. Your knowledge you might not get to do as cooler things, but it's the fact that it's a multi-billion pound company and you just would see cool stuff. When it's a smaller company, they don't quite have the resources, it's not as big, they haven't got big departments, their Christmas parties are not as big, and the after work activities are not as cool, but you definitely learn more. And again, you want 2 extremes. You don't want to go to too small a company that is tiny and not got hardly any clients, and you don't. And the other end is, if you go too big a big company, you might not learn as much, but it's great for your CV.
Yeah, this is why this is the perfect kind of company to work for.
You're just saying that, Ruby. That's very kind of you. Have you any other questions? Anything else to discuss about this blog? Don't forget, when you put images, that you are putting the images and you're alt tagging them. That's very important.
Sorry, alt tagging.
I'll show you.
Okay.
So alt tag, meta descriptions are all massively important. So this is a blog written by Ruby and Gary. I hope you've enjoyed it. It comes with a video and it comes with writing. Cool. Stop recording.